Between Egypt and the Arab countries increased by 18% during 2021 on an annual basis. Minister of Trade and Industry Naveen Gema said that Egypt's exports to Arab countries during 2021 amounted to about $9.5 million, which represents about 30% of the total Egyptian exports. Gema added that Egyptian non-oil exports achieved unprecedented positive indicators in 2021, reaching $32.13 billion compared to $25.43 billion in 2020, with an increase of $6.7 billion or 27%. The unprecedented increase in exports was due to the new program to support exports, reduce burdens, and pay overdue export dues to the Export Development Fund. The government has implemented measures and efforts that, in turn, contributed to reaching these tangible export rates, including restructuring the Supreme Council for Exports, restructuring export councils, in addition to working to achieve maximum benefit from commercial offices abroad, as well as from free trade agreements and preferential agreements with a large number of countries and global economic blocs. The minister stressed the importance of enhancing the role of the Arab private sector as a strategic and main partner for economic development plans in Arab countries. She pointed to its pivotal role in linking business strategies and sustainable Arab development, developing a circular and participatory economy, strengthening regional Arab supply chains through joint projects. Meanwhile, Minister of International Cooperation Rania Mashat met with Secretary General of the Arab Economic Unity Council, Mohammed Ahmed Al-Ni, to discuss means of cooperation between the ministry and the CAEU and ways to activate its mechanisms. Egypt supports the Council's role in advancing Arab economic integration through trade and investment. This takes place by facilitating intra-trade relations among Arab countries and by exchanging capital and labor to enhance livelihoods. The Council aims to organize and consolidate economic relations between Arab countries based on compatibility through natural and historical ties and to secure the best conditions for economic prosperity.
Right, welcome back, and back to you, Engineer Shaaban, and economic-wise. And this is a very important file that we are speaking about, particularly the Egyptian-Arab relations in terms of economy.
Yeah.
What the nations are aspiring for this upcoming stage. And let me here take opportunities, Arab opportunities, Arab opportunities, and this is how I can term it.
Well, I think Arabs have an excellent chance to invest in Africa, and this will be our chance to get into this, because Egypt is a country that actually enjoys the privilege of being an Arab country as well as an African country. So I vote for a highway that connects the Red Sea to the Atlantic Ocean across the continent, actually. And this will open the door for Egypt to be a logistic hub for a lot of the products that are being produced in the Gulf countries. You know, there is a lot of industries now in Saudi and in the Gulf countries. And I think if these products are exported to the African countries that do not have shores and use Egypt as a gateway to the closed countries in Africa, this will be a good investment a chance for everybody. I think also there is a number of projects in Africa that could require investment, like you know, Europe is shifting from you know, the nuclear plant to generate electricity to solar and green clean energy. So I think if the Gulf countries will invest in the solar energy field, both in Africa and in this particular area, because we have the privilege of, having the good weather that allows us to produce a lot of energy, in this area. So this could be also exported to Europe, but it requires a huge amount of investment, and this is available in the Gulf countries. There is a lot of ideas actually that we could, utilize. Also, I would like to see a lot of investments in Sinai actually. Sinai is the center of gravity for the whole area. And I think if one day we could be able to, make Sinai the financial hub of all the international banks, this will be like Wall Street of the whole area. And I think Sinai is ready to play this role. I mean, the location of Sinai is very, very unique. It's between the east and the west of the Arab countries.
Actually, the economic zone, the Suez Canal economic zone is one of those logistic hubs and
Yes.
important hubs, economic hubs that include industrial zones, that include agricultural even projects.
Even
and
industrial,
projects.
they have an area for industry, yes.
How far do you think we need to boost our cooperation, particularly in investing in such areas, and how would that benefit or be a kind of win-win situation for all sides?
You see, the Suez Canal itself is a strategic waterway, so we might be able to develop the Suez Canal, add to it certain elements that could enhance the investment in the area. Meaning, Sinai is a good location to produce salt. Right before 1967, we used to be the #1 supplier for salt to Japan, and all the cargo ships coming from Europe empty after they actually deliver their goods in Europe, they pass from the Suez Canal and they pass from Port Said and so forth, and they used to we used to export our salt to Japan on these vessels. After the 1967 war and the Suez Canal was closed, Japan shifted their interest to Australia, and they get their salt from Australia. I think salt is very important to a lot of countries that do not have shores. Japan has solved their problem, but again, still, salt is a rare commodity for some countries in Africa that do not have shores on oceans or seas. Instead of exporting salt to these countries through the port of Mombasa in Kenya, we could actually use our ports like Qusair, Safaga, and Ras Banas to export goods, as I said, through a highway, a major highway financed by the Arab Gulf countries to the closed countries in Africa, like Chad, Niger, Dahomey, and Burkina Faso.
Energy. Energy is a very pressing issue, not just in the Arab world, Egypt, but worldwide. And we're speaking here about tycoons in this energy issue. We're speaking about Saudi Arabia, the biggest exporter of oil. We're speaking about Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates. We're also speaking about potentials of Egypt, particularly in the gas field after all the discoveries. How far do we need to consolidate our efforts in order to stabilize the situation, particularly in the energy field? We are aware that the increase in the energy price would really reflect on the whole situation and the prices of everything. So how far can we together help in such a situation?
Well, I think we had a good project with the Gulf countries, which is the Sumet project some time ago, and I think it is time to upgrade this particular project, and it will be a win-win situation if we increase the capabilities of this particular project. The Sumet project in the area of Sukhna and the south of Suez is a good potential to increase the cooperation in the field of oil production and oil trade.
Yes. Finally here, if I may ask you question that I guess that is aspired by Arab nations at large. How far do we need to unite our stance as Arabs in face of all the coming challenges and the existing ones?
We need to really have a closer look at the Arab League because, we always dreamt as Arabs that we might be able to have the Arabian common market similar to the European common market that never really took place. That could have been a good chance to consolidate our efforts economically through the Arab League, but we didn't see anything that materialized seriously on the ground. Each country still have its own development plans. I think the Arab League at least could play the role of coordinator between the countries if it actually did not put the formula to get all of these countries together. They might be able to just play the role of coordinator and also orchestrate the development plans in the Arab countries, where Arab countries will very soon be self-sufficient in many respects.
Yes. We all hope to see this upcoming Arab Summit that will be held in Algeria of great success, because we really need the collaboration and the strong relations to exist, particularly at this upcoming stage. I guess that takes us to the end of this episode. Engineer Hassan Shaaban, political analyst, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
And dear viewers, many thanks for watching. Tomorrow will be another important debate with another colleague. Good night.